All right, we can admit everyone. Welcome, everybody. So excited to have you here for this very powerful, life-changing meeting. What are the ancient secrets, the ancient healing secrets which can change your life and also change the world? This is a special tribute to the legendary master healer, Dr. Pankaj Naram, who's behind me right there on the wall. We have so many special guests that knew this master healer. Is so blessed to have known him. And so many other people on the call who maybe didn't know him while he was in the body, but have become acquainted with him through the book, through dreams. Oh, wow, right when I say that. Also, we have a chime through so many of your own personal experiences. So first of all, I want to welcome everyone in the chat. Just go ahead and post, where are you joining from? And Jana, can you read off some of the names of where people are joining from? You can unmute yourself. And
Welcome, everybody. Hello. So good to see you guys. I love this. We've got people from all over the world. We've got Colorado, we've got Canada, we've got Arizona, we've got Ireland, Mexico, Denver, Seattle, Washington. Love Seattle. Austin, Texas. We've got Ellen from Brooklyn. Hello, Ellen. It's so good that you're on the call. Thank you so much for joining us. Savan, he is calling from the UK. We've got
Israel, Tokyo,
a lot.
New Zealand,
yes,
Italy, Costa Rica. I've never seen the chat going so fast while people are texting in or where they're calling from. Spain, Canada, Finland.
Hi.
We've got Chris from Florida. We've got Natasha from Los Angeles. We've got Louis from New York. Daniel from Colorado. So many people, Clint. So many people.
So fun. I'm just gonna actually, just for fun, I'm just gonna switch it real quick to gallery view so you can take in these amazing people that have joined from all over the world. Wow. For this very powerful event in which you're gonna discover not only intimate details of the life of Dr. Naram, legendary master healer Dr. Naram. You're gonna hear from some of his closest friends and family, but you're gonna discover principles, ancient healing secrets, principles through which you can change your life forever. You can get clarity. Actually, Mooney, oh, you're just walked up from your screen. I just wanted to say hi to some of the people that are here. You can unmute yourself. Mooney, so good to see you here. Wow. I don't know if you can, oh, wow.
Hi, Dr. Clint.
Hello.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's so great to hear and be with Dr. Naram. To be with Dr. Naram, always.
Yeah, so beautiful. You're joining from Toronto?
Yes.
And how many years did you know Dr. Naram? And do you have any favorite moments or memories you want to share?
I have so many. But one I will definitely share, and which I'm still practicing. I have developed this, it's called therapeutic healing dance. And for so many years, I'm doing it for 20 years. And when I met Dr. Naram, I said, do you think there's something in it that I'm teaching that the people are getting better and all? And I'm telling you, it was 3 in the morning. He was doing one of his clinic in Toronto, and 3 in the morning when he had time, he said, just wait, don't go. And he endorsed me. And the words that he said, as if he's the one who's telling me what to do in the dance, it's amazing. You know, it's on my website everywhere. Dr. Pankaj Naram talking about this healing dance and how in few words he explains this, and it's an amazing. And I am so blessed because the following year he passed away. I went to me and my husband, we went to Bombay. I met Dr. Clint there. You were just preparing your book. Remember, we all stayed together in that in his apartment, and Dr. Clint was just reading his book, and you read a few words about those. And I said, my God, what it is. And we were so happy that we met him. We had good time with him, and he was the closest. He always said my sister, and he meant, and I still hold him. And maybe that's the reason we went and met him before he passed away.
So beautiful. Mooney and Afzal are very famous musicians, and they have some amazing work. Oh, there he is. Fantastic.
Hi,
They-
Dr. Clint.
Oh, so good to see you. I want to say one principle as we're starting off. You know, Dr. Ram he loved when people did things with excellence, when they gave their 100%. And if he saw anyone with their making sandwiches at 100%, he'd give his 100% to them, or doing music or dance or art or business or whatever. People give 100% to Dr. Ram. Just love that because it was such a key principle of his whole life. So thank you, Mooney, for being on this call. Afzal, so good to see you.
Always.
I want to quickly say
So good.
in respect to Dr. Naram. You know, in life, there are a few people among millions who leave an everlasting impact on who you are. And one of them is Dr. Pankaj Naram. Like, he was just incredible. The energy and the insight he had. I don't know, he could read everyone's mind and heart. I don't know what it was. But there you go. You don't have very many around. In centuries, you have one that comes about, and we are all blessed to get to know him, to have spent a moment with him.
Can you see
It
this?
was unbelievable. Thank you.
This is his supplements, which I still take every morning. There, all Dr. Ram, every morning. Thank you.
And
So,
Literally,
Dr. Clint,
literally,
you are
Dr. Ram is
doing,
inside
I
of
don't
us.
know how to thank you. The work that you're doing is incredible.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Afzal, so much. So grateful for you. You know, Dr. Ram, he was known throughout the world as a master healer. You know, his patients were people like the Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela. He helped thousands of 9/11 firefighters and first responders, many of whom stories I got to hear. Actually, I started as a skeptic, a big skeptic. My name is Dr. Clint G. Rogers, and even the subtitle of the book, so Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer, the subtitle is A Western Skeptic, an Eastern Master in Life's Greatest Secrets. I was so much a skeptic. I thought that if there's solutions in the world, they're going to come from our highly funded universities and research institutions of the West. I didn't think there was going to be a solution that would come from this unexpected source. And so I was really arrogant, actually. And when I first met him, I was curious, but really doubtful. And those who knew Dr. Ram in person know he has this kind of like boundless energy and enthusiasm, way of capturing your attention and finding his way into your heart for your benefit, for your healing benefit. And on this call today, we're going to hear many people speak. You know, just as a medical disclaimer, I'll say that this meeting in the book, it's not medical advice. You know, it's not for medical.
Can I say something?
Oh, please go ahead, Afzal. Afzal? Can anyone else hear him, or is it cutting out a little bit? Cutting out? Okay.
We don't hear him.
Moon, can you plug that wire
we can
in?
hear you. We can hear you, Afzal. Okay, we'll come back to you in 1 minute, Afzal. So basically what I want to say is it's not medical advice. You know, this is for information, educational purposes. So obviously if you have a medical problem, you want to talk to your medical professional, but this is inspirational about how did these ancient masters, Dr. Ram said he had a master who lived to be 125, had a master's master who lived to be 145. And this ancient unbroken lineage goes back to Jivaka, the personal physician for Buddha. So what were the secrets that they knew about lifestyle, about how to live a healthy life, how to maintain health? You know, it's called the science of life. And Siddha Veda goes a step deeper, which is how do you discover what do you want? And on the stories today, I hope you have your heart open so you can be blessed by the experience of those who are closest to him. But also, I don't want you to walk away from this meeting with a feeling of sadness that, oh, I wish I would have known him, because there is an opportunity for you to know him. In fact, I don't know if Andrea is on this call right now. I just want to go to a couple people. Andrea for Humanity, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Can you share your experience? You never met Dr. Naram, but you also did in a way. Can you share this?
Sure. Namaste, everyone. My name is Andrea, and unfortunately, I didn't meet Dr. Naram in the flesh, but I've had the good fortune of meeting him in the spirit because I decided to index the book after receiving a prompting from somewhere. And let me tell you, it has changed my life because as I touch each and every word in that book, I realize the book is alive with its own pulse, and each word pulsating at its respective frequency, which caused my own vibrational frequency to rise higher and higher, uh, causing a mutual attunement with the book. This then presented a portal which gave me a quantum jump into another universe. And once I entered this other universe, my guide appeared. And I believe the guide is Dr. Naram. And what he did was made me feel safe. I experienced euphoria unlike I've ever felt. And there was an absence of time and worries. And he guided me through this book that I call a botanical garden of words, pointing to each word of significance and just guiding me so lovingly, like this loving uncle. I remember one time I was working on, say, the S column, and I got this tap on my shoulder to go back to a word in the D column. And I checked and I realized I had the incorrect page number. And that happened a number of times. Or he would tap my shoulders and say, okay, we need to give this word more attention. Let's give focus, let's give a little attention to Finland. And okay, Kenya is trying to get some attention. And it's okay, Kenya, you're coming up on a later page. So it's been a wonderful experience that I get to have access to him now permanently because he's my loving Uncle Dr. Naram. So I thank you, Dr. Clint, for not including an index. Otherwise, I would have never gone on this journey. Namaste.
So beautiful. I want you to stay unmuted for a minute. First of all, I've never met Andrea. I've never met her. I didn't know that she was going to take this on, but she took initiative. She saw there was no index. There wasn't time in time to get it published, but to have an index where you can search for something like blood pressure and you know exactly where to go, or you can search for something like skin and you know where to go in the book is so powerful. She says, this is needed. I'm going to do it. And as a result, she was blessed. What I've noticed is that people that are involved, Dr. Ram had a mission. His vision and mission was to touch every heart and every home on earth with the power and benefit of the ancient healing secrets. And I've now heard probably over 100 stories since his passing, since he left the body, of him showing up for people and helping them with their own healing journey. And so one reason we're having this tribute today is so more and more of you can feel that connection with that vibration that Andrea talked so powerfully about. Andrea, just real briefly, can you also talk about giving the book to your brother? Because it just exemplifies the passion of,
Absolutely. So my beloved, I have 3 wonderful brothers, and I gave the book to the eldest brother, and he hasn't read the book, and I was disappointed. And so I called him up and I said, you haven't read that book. And he says, you're right. I said, I know, because had you opened the book, you would have been calling me, bouncing off he said, okay, I'll open the book. And here's the incredible thing about this book and my relationship with my brother. I've only ever given him 2 gifts in life. This is the second gift I've given him. So I said to him, I said, it must be of great importance if I sent you this gift, So he said, okay, I will start reading the book. So I told him, don't stop denying yourself the incredible blessings that await you. So to be continued.
So beautiful. Thank you so much, Andrea. Andrea is a great example of actually literally hundreds and hundreds of people that have shown up with love to move this work forward. And as you apply the ancient secrets in your life, it looks like miracles happen. And all those who are involved in helping move the mission forward, it looks like a miracle, but it's based on a science, an ancient science. In fact, Sharmini, I just see you're here joining from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Yes.
Can you share your story? It's so powerful.
Which one? I had a few. I had a moment on that bonus call. This is a lifesaver for me because as I read the book, I discovered myself that I need to go in and look for me and to look after myself and to discover myself. And it's been a blessing for me. And I've also shared this book with a friend, with my sister. And as a result, my sister is now going under treatment with the Ayush Shakti doctors.
Yeah, so beautiful. Can you share about when the blood pressure was high? What happened?
Oh, that story, yes. Because one of my caregivers suddenly had very high blood pressure. She was feeling dizzy. So I read the patient quickly because I indexed for particular things. So I read it, and I took the heat and did the points on the head and on the corners of the head. And I did a couple of times because her pressure didn't go down. It took about 5 minutes and her pressure came down with it. And so as a result, this book has been a blessing for me and for my family too.
So here she is in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and has a situation. Now, Dr. Ram would always say in emergency situations, please call 911. Please call your doctor. But what if you're in an emergency situation? It takes an hour, 2 hours for the emergency vehicle to show up. What if there's an earthquake or a tornado or a flood and you can't get help? What if the hospitals are already packed? Then why not empower yourself by learning ancient secrets, simple things you can do, remedies in your own kitchen, or points you can press on your own body. And I want to acknowledge you, Sharmini. First of all, Andrea, she would have loved your index. She was making her own index with all the post-it notes at the beginning of the book.
Color-coded as well.
Yeah. But how powerful that just from reading a book, you can make such a drastic change in someone's life. I'm so proud of you, Sharmini. Thank you for sharing that story. And I want to go. So we went from New York, Andrea, all the way to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Real briefly, I want to go to Germany. I don't know if Annabelle, if you're on, can you unmute yourself? She has a real powerful story about, you never know where Dr. Naram is going to touch someone's heart and how he's going to show up. And Annabelle, if you're on this call, it'd be so great to hear your story. If you can unmute yourself. Okay, in brief, I don't see her on the call, but in brief, she actually gave the book as a gift to her mother. Her mother never read it. Her mother actually put it on her coffee table in her front room, and her friend, who is a priest, came over and was like, "What is this book?" And she was a little bit like disappointed her mom wasn't reading it. But the priest, he says, anytime I'm frustrated, anytime I'm stressed, I just open this book and it's like, it comforts me. And then he started learning about what are those points to press on your body, the marma points. He started looking at the diagrams, doing it, and then he started pressing those points, not only for himself, but on Annabelle's mother. And so you never know. When you put love into the world, Dr. Naram says, when you do something with 100%, you never know where it's going to come back. I love the stories of people, but also the amazing thing for me is before the book was even published, volunteers came from all over the world and started translating it into nearly 30 languages. In fact, it's complete now in Spanish, German, Italian, Gujarati, Hindi, and Portuguese. We're just in the final stages. I don't know, Cornelia, if you're on this call, I just want to emphasize these stories at the beginning. In German, for instance, there's a man by the name of Rolf. He actually had a dream in which Dr. Naram appeared to him. And Dr. Naram says, listen, you're the person that needs to translate this book. And Rolf took it in his heart. He says, okay, I'm going to do this. So he says, I worked harder on this translation than any I've ever worked on in my life. And he says, I worked on it again and again and again until it was so perfect. I put my hand over, I could feel like electricity between it, and I felt like Dr. Naram wrapped a bow around it and his stamp of approval. I just gave it to Cornelia actually to proofread it, to read through it and say, how is this? And Cornelia, can you share what, as you're reading the first chapters, what's your experience?
My experience with this book was really, I mean, I'm a translator as well, and I knew I wouldn't do this book justice. And when I started to read now the translation, I have to say I was drawn into the book in the very same way as I was drawn into the original. And I was so pleased with that it has exactly the loving energy, and every word is conveying what Dr. Naram has said, and all the energy of the original is really there in the German version. And I know it's not an easy feat to do that, because the German language just doesn't often have this kind of quality in the language as English has. So I'm so happy to read it now. And yeah, he was definitely the right person to do that. I'm so happy.
It's so beautiful. How Dr. Ram must be coordinating everything.
Everything.
You know, without a body, how he can reach more of us in such a big way. So just for fun, I just want to show you, because it's so, to me, it's so impactful. I just want to show you the book covers, but all those who are working on translation, I just want you to unmute yourself right now. I want you to unmute yourself, and I want you to say your name and what language you're helping translate. So your name and what language you're helping translate.
Tavan and Gujarati.
Albert. Portuguese.
Portuguese, for sure.
Hélène, French.
Tavan, Gujarati.
Rajini, Hindi.
Spanish.
Russian.
Wow, Russian.
Spanish.
Spanish, Giovanni, fantastic.
Alda.
Fantastic, Alda. So good.
Ian, Marathi.
Marathi, super.
Ilaria, Italia.
Italian, yeah. Yukiko?
Go Japanese.
Yeah, Yukiko, Japanese. Radu?
Romanian, yeah.
Radu, Romanian. Romanian's getting close too. So fun. Anyone that we're missing?
No, Taylor.
Oh, maybe we can use stuff on that. Super. And Jan helping coordinate many things on that side. Fantastic. Afsana?
Afsana Persian language with the help of 2 other people as well, which I'm extremely grateful for. Thank you for that opportunity. Thank you.
Super. And Alda, you said already, but one more time, we didn't hear you properly.
I would like to know where I can order the Portuguese version.
Oh, good. Yeah, they'll all be ready probably within the next 3 months, and they'll be ready on myancientsecrets.com. You can also get it on Amazon, different places.
Great.
I just want to acknowledge these translators. Albert, did you already say?
Sorry?
Oh, you did. Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you for that question, Albert. Great. Super. So then I want to acknowledge, let's see, Bridget, did you already share? And Nushrat?
I'm translating into French.
Hi, everybody.
French. Super. And Bridget?
Hi, everybody. Namaskar. What a great community to be a part of. I mean it. The energy here is amazing. I am translating the book or the past videos into English.
Wow.
Right?
Yep,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. There's a lot of projects that are happening simultaneously, but there's probably a lot. There's so much happening on so many levels. And I'm so
I wish I could do more.
Oh, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. I just want to send you so much love. So on one level, imagine when these ancient secrets, this unbroken lineage for 2,500 years is now bringing these into the world. And now they're going to be published in all these languages in which people's lives can be changed from the simple home remedies, wisdom, principles, and insights. And one of the key questions that's asked from Dr. Naram is, what do you want? What do you want? So right now, I just want to drop from our heads into our hearts and consider this. You know, Shamani said a beautiful thing. She said that the reason why the ancient secrets are so powerful for her is because it pointed her back to herself. You know, and I think that's really what Dr. Ram did for all of us. As a real true healer, he didn't solve our problems, but he showed us that we had the power to solve them ourselves, and really to give us the secrets so that even when he left the body, the ancient secrets could continue to grow and spread in a way like never before. We're honoring the launch of a 100-day training program where we have more than 255 people that are joining from over 33 countries in this 100-day program to learn how to apply the secrets more to themselves. And many are doctors or nurses, how to apply in their practices, and many want to become practitioners. So what's possible? And most important question is, what do you want? So Jaina, can you introduce Renara in this very beautiful moment we'll have to drop from our head into our hearts?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Clint. I just am so overwhelmed with love for this community. It's so wonderful to be here. It's so wonderful to see your beautiful faces and the feel of your hearts. I mean, there's so many people on the call today. I can't see everybody's faces, but I so feel you on this call today. We have the luxury today of being able to be presenced with a very, very talented pianist. Renara is, I feel so connected to her. She's such a wonderful lady. I just love her so much. She had a special connection with Dr. Naram, and I would love for her to share that story at some point in time. But she speaks to people's souls. She's able to really connect with the spirit, with the soul, and she really speaks to people's hearts. So with that, Renara, if you would like to share something or go right into your music, do what you feel like you need to do. Thank you.
Everybody. Are you going to feed the child? She just had a big chocolate over there and hand over.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Namaskar, everybody. Really so happy and such an honor to me to connect all of us with Dr. Naram through the music. And I have really very short but full of love story with Dr. Naram. And he's had his blessing, you know, to continue my music new way, which I shared with him. So I just invite all of us to connect in the heart with Dr. Naram, no matter the way you do that, because it could be feeling, it could be memory, it could be just a thought or just name. But you will be honestly in your heart with this energy and this name of Dr. Naram. Because I don't know which music will come now, but I'm absolutely sure that this music for all of us and for each of us personally, and each of us will have his own message.
Renara, that was absolutely beautiful. Totally touched my heart. And I see many people wiping away their tears like me. Had such a beautiful Dr. Naram presence, and I've never met him. But thank you so much.
So beautiful. Renara, so beautiful, Renara. That was amazing. Not only you did that improvisationally to channel that message, but you do everything that way with your heart. Thank you so much. Thank you for the hard work you're doing on the translation into Russian with also the other translation team. And thank you for everything, how you show up with so much purity of service and love. It just captures so much how Dr. Naram was coming from that seva. So thank you so much. You're getting so much love in the chat. Everyone's saying, where do we get your music? How do we do that? Someone actually put in the chat where you can get Renara's music. But thank you again so much. So Mike, if you can unspotlight us, I'm gonna go into in this beautiful space that Renara created as we've dropped from our head into our heart, we have a very special guest to introduce you to now. And this guest has known Dr. Naram for so much time, many years, much longer than me. And to introduce this special guest, I want to introduce Lucinda. So Saima, you saw in the email, has known Dr. Naram for so long, done so many things, had so many mystical experiences in so many places. Lucinda is Saima's successor. And so in this beautiful space, I want to welcome with our heart and our love, Lucinda. If you can introduce Her Holiness Saima.
Thank you so kindly, Dr. Clint. It has been such a blessing to be on this call so far. I'm basking in the love, and I have the divine honor of introducing Her Holiness Jagadguru Saima Lakshmi Devi. And Saima is a dear, dear friend of Dr. Naram's, as we know, and that says a lot, master to master, that kind of profound relationship. Many years ago, many years ago, Saima insisted I meet Dr. Naram. And I'll never forget being in that waiting room with so many people and Dr. Naram coming out with this effervescent enthusiasm, and from which every single person, he brought the same enthusiasm. I'll never get over that. And Saima shares this with Dr. Naram, this effervescent enthusiasm for life, devout passion to serve students, and of course, the wisdom of the ancient healing secrets. Saima is known and honored as an enlightened master, first female Jagat Guru in the Vishnu Swami lineage of 2,700 years, first female. And Saima's ashram, Shakti Dham, rests in Kashi Varanasi, India, and is a vortex for the divine feminine. So Ma's very unique relationship with Dr. Naram, it's a rare relationship between two people who are shifting how we approach healthcare altogether and bringing the ancient wisdom to the challenges of today. So I can tell our hearts are already open and our minds are open. And I first invite you into the energy of the Kumbh Mela. Ma wanted you to experience this first. It's the Kumbh Mela from 2019, which many of you know is the largest spiritual gathering or gathering of any kind that draws millions and millions of people to worship in their spiritual divinity. So with no further ado, let's see the video of the Kumbh Mela, experience the spirit of this, and then we'll hear from Her Holiness Saima.
I had many people ask me that at home. Why India? Why the Kumbh Mela? They're not familiar with it. And I wrote a letter back that when you arrive, it's the one place that you can go in the world where you have a sea of humanity all praising God at one time, to the unity that we are. And you get to forget politics and business and all of those things that distract the mind, and you get to just focus on the soul, on your divinity. And what Mataji provides is an exquisite experience to be held by the mother and come into knowing who you are.
But as I stood, I saw something I saw something that I could never express with words, but I saw the sun brilliantly shining.
Wow. I'm just reading in the chat. So many people are saying this gives me chills.
And now let's welcome Her Holiness Jagadguru Saima.
Namaskar, namaskar, namaskaram to each and every one. Pankaj, Pankaj. I was in Puttaparthi one day, and my assistant, who lives in Puttaparthi, called me and said, there is a doctor who wants to meet you. I said, which doctor? Because I know the doctor who is in Puttaparthi because I've lived in Puttaparthi for so many years. He said, no, he was on the phone. He called, he wants to come and meet you. I said, no, nobody comes here to meet me. I'm with my guru and no social life for me. The person can wait. Pankaj called 15 times in 2-3 days. And then Sai Krishna said to me, why you don't want him to come? Maybe Baba is calling him for darshan. Oh, okay, then let him come. So this is how our relationship started. He was so impressed to see what I brought at that time, already at that time, and what language I will use. And he said to me, I know many gurus, but nobody has this passion and fervor that the way you speak. And I heard about his mission, and that was my first blessing to him, that one day all his remedies will be in every house in India, every single house. And I could see his past births, several. And there was a moment I was in silence and he said, whatever you're looking at, I think I know you. I said, is this why you insisted on the phone to call so many times? He said, yes, I needed to meet you. I was not going to continue to live without meeting you. All right. I didn't pay much attention to any of this. And then we start speaking of Baglamukhi. He told me, he said name of different deity. And I said, very few people will know about Baglamukhi. And mostly not an intellect like you. He said, yes, I'm an intellect, but maybe you're capable of opening my heart. I know people tell me sometimes I'm too harsh or I'm too soft. I said, to know your heart, be a father. You have a little child, but you are absent in his life. How do I now teach him how to be a father? And I said, do you know how to be a husband? He said, I don't think this is for me, Saimaji. I don't think so. I said, whether you think so or not, it's a dharma. You have to really be into your dharma. If you don't want karma to have to come back just for that. He started to listen. And every day when he will be in Puttaparthi, he will have to come and spend time with me, asking millions of questions, taking notes. And I said, don't take notes. Just remember what you hear. He wanted to write something on me. Oh, I said, okay. And then Baglamukhi again and again. I was telling him when I was in Nepal where I will go to meet Baglamukhi. He said, that's where I go. All right, so the conversation moved more into Baglamukhi. Then he happened to hear that I was invited as the only lady in an ashram in Bangalore. And I said, this is where there's a temple of Rajarajeshwari. You know all of this, Saimaji. Who are you, Saimaji? You know how Pankaj will speak, yes? Saimaji, how are you? How do you know all this? All right. So I speak about Rajarajeshwari. Together with Baglamukhi and Rajarajeshwari, then he said, what about the male deity? I said, you know, my focus is my guru. That's it. The rest is on the side. And then one day he asked me about Shiva. He said, I hear so many things about Shiva. What's your interpretation? I said, I will not give you an interpretation. I will tell you exactly what happened. 1,000 years ago, Shiva doesn't live on this planet. He's from the other side of the Maya, of the veil. And due to the pain and suffering of humanity, he crossed the veil and reached the Himalayas, where the energy is very pure. Nobody goes there, it's still pure. And this is when he started his journey for this planet. So he said, is he God? I said, no, he's not God. He's a being of light who came to rescue humanity, to say to humanity, you are a light. You are pure consciousness. You are all that is. And more now, he cannot leave Puttaparthi. Smita is ready to leave. The child is ready to leave because they are not seeing him at all. And I said, you please, it's time to go. We'll meet again. I can see we'll meet again. He said, when? I said, don't ask me when. So I have this little fight with him every now and then. And then he will even get my ticket organized to stop in Bombay. And he will come to my hotel room with a list of 200-300 words. Whether it's one word, whether it's a sentence, whether it's a name. And then the ancient secret arrives. And I loved his guru. I just loved his guru. Very unique. I still say today, this guru should not have died. Sometimes a mistake caused that. A simple mistake of everyday life. So every time he will be with his guru, he will call me and I will speak to his guru. Then we'll travel to Nepal, to many different places together. And then one day when we were together, he said to me, he said, sometimes I dream of you, but you are inside of a fire. I said, that's because I love yagya. Let me show you a little bit of yagya homa in our ashram in Kashi. Can I see something here, please?
Karne Vishnuyama Devaha Bhadram Pasye Makshabhiryajatraha Tirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayu Swasti na Indra Vriddhashravaha.
So then I said, yagya is part of me. In my blood, there is the yagya, the fire, the sacred fire from many, many lifetimes ago. Yes, very good, show that. So you see our Pandits in Kashi. He introduced me also to a great devout Pandit who is a specialist of Baglamukhi. We did so many trips there. Then we did a Mahayagya of 135 Pandits in Japan to stop all the tsunami. Fabulous, phenomenal. And regularly Pankaj is on the phone, sometime every hour. And he will keep leaving messages until I answer the phone and wanted to hear. So Pankaj is a lover of yagya. And one day he said to me, so what's your goal? What's your incarnation? I said, I took birth. First, I needed to take birth only when my guru will be here. Because I needed to make sure there was this huge capacity of absolute pure love from source that most humans don't have. And then I'll come, and which I did. And I spoke about awakening of humanity and enlightenment of humanity, global enlightenment. And then one day he said, I keep having this dream of you. Not only you are in the fire, but it's looked like you were a sadhu one day. I'd say, yes, I was. And I miss my sadhu family. In the path where I am right now, it's not about the sadhus. But I do love my sadhus brothers. And he said, I'd like to introduce you to a great guru in Kashi. I say, I'm ready. Then he introduced me to Maharaji. Maharaji Sattva Baba, some of you may have met him. May I have the picture of Maharaji? So this is how I met, and the picture that you see in yellow, this is how I met Maharaji. And Maharaji came to live with me for a month in Crestone, in our ashram in Colorado. And this is what Maharaji became. Whether it's Pankaj, whether it's Maharaji, or some other gurus as well, they have such a faith in what I say that they surrender and I bring them this Shakti. Some of you may know that Pankaj loves Shakti. And when I start to meet the Maharaji, how did it happen? It was in Gujarat. Pankaj and me, we went together. There was a small crowd, maybe 500 people of male swamis, pandits, all in orange or red dress. And everybody has to, it's like an exam class. Everybody has to say something, they recite the Vedas. And it was my turn. I was very surprised because that was not planned at all. And I stood up, all in white, and I just spoke. I didn't recite Vedas, but I did speak on Lord Ram, the essence of Ram, everything about Ram. And then my time was over. I sat down. After some time, I think I was the last or before last person. After some time, they said my name, and I look at Pankaj. Pankaj lit up. I've never seen anybody being so proud. My father was proud, my mother was proud of me. But to watch Pankaj on that day, you know how sometimes he will smile all the way to his ears? The smile, the happiness, and he thanked everybody. He spoke for 2 minutes. How proud he was that I was chosen to become the next Mahamandaleshwar. That's unique. And the guru, the Maharaji guru, who we met in his room in this evening, took one of his book of Devi, of Mother Divine's name, the 1,000 name of Mother Divine, and said to Pankaj, now I don't need this. And he gifted me the book and said, I have met you. I don't need to read a book anymore. And Pankaj had tears. And he was so emotional he could not even drink something. After which we went to Kashi. We've been to Kashi several times together. Then I come back, I like to come back to the ancient scripture from Nepal and Tibet. A lot of tribulation to get that, a lot of finance. I've taken many risks myself to support him. And every time he will meet me, I will carry from my puja some very specific sacred pieces, which was charged with the kind of Shakti that I work with. And he will take it and feel everything, and he will speak. He will nearly channel Shakti when he will hold these items and take it to his house in Bombay for his puja. They are still there. I have not recuperated anything yet. And it's beautiful to see somebody like Pankaj who has such faith in energy, in Shakti, in the power of beyond the veiled. In the ancient scriptures, and I remember telling him, I said, this is your dharma. I will be mad at him because he'll be working for hours for consult. I said, you're killing yourself. You'll be dead before time. His assistant can tell you I've said this maybe 1,000 times to him. But the beautiful thing about what I could sense when I will see the scripture, all the recipe for brain, for organs, for transmuting matter in alchemy. And then the first slide you saw with the pandits in yellow was a yagya for Indra. And I said, I feel there's Indra here. And he said, oh, how do you know this? I said, because I'm very close to Indra. Indra is a being of light who will manifest himself, whether it's from a tree, from a stars, from clusters, and he will come out as a light and then manifest his physicality. And Amrapali was this beautiful, devoted, very, very devoted woman whose family wanted her to get married, but she wanted to devote her life to the Shakti. And in her pain, one day, she got all these diseases because whatever was going on, and she could not get married. Indra came out, touched her, and her body was healed from toes to head. So I shared that with Pankaj. Pankaj called her guru, and her guru said, let me speak to Saimaji. And his guru, he spoke to me. Amrapali, the hormones, the brain, the endocrine system, it's a phenomenal product. It was quite complex to get this product out. I don't know how many calls I've received from Pankaj about this product.
Is it okay if I show real quick?
Please, yes.
I know he talked with you so much about Amrapali's secret, and he
Yes.
spent so much of his last years of life. And I'd love to know, what did he share with you about this, about Amrapali's secret, both the secret and
Well, he did not know much because he needed the translation of the Sanskrit. But what I will do, I will just, wherever he will be in Bombay or in Germany with one of the ancient tablets, I will just tap into it. And then I will just start speaking about Indra and about Amrapali.
Wow, amazing. I want to show everyone, actually, I have a picture of some of the ancient manuscripts that were used. Let me just pull it out real quick. So these are handwritten manuscripts that
Yes.
master to student, they would pass on these manuscripts to preserve the ancient secrets. One of Dr. Ram's original masters, Jivaka, had this patient whose name was Amrapali, known as the most beautiful woman in the world. He said the king was 35, but fell in love with Amrapali, even though she was 65. Even the king had a younger, beautiful wife, but still fell in love with Amrapali.
Because of hormones, because of endocrine system.
Yeah. So here is Jivaka, and this is ancient manuscripts that so much of this wisdom was captured on. How does a woman stay young at any age?
Yes.
How can you be youthful, have vibrant health, and limited energy at any age? And so I'm so glad that you're mentioning that, because I know I saw him work so hard on this.
I got calls every day about the product.
Please continue.
Every day. And when he met me, he was surprised of my age to see how youthful I look. And he thought I would be doing panchakarma like every month or every 2 months. I don't do panchakarma. He pushed me to do panchakarma. He insisted that I do panchakarma. And I should be doing it more. And massage, I don't do all of this. So he knew there was something. And the more I will speak of Amrapali, the more I speak of Indra, the more he wanted. And last year, for the whole year, last year or the year before, I did a whole year of Indra Yagya for everyone in the world. A whole year, every month. And I saw how many people transform through the yagya of Indra. Why? Because I cannot work with Indra without bringing the Shakti of Amrapali to every single brain on the planet. So everybody who did this yagya, they have felt healthier, stronger, and more youthful in the way they act, in the way they are, and no more anxiety. So all this to say, I think my time is coming. How many minutes I have more? I know I have a call after that, so somebody could let me know.
You're busy with so much else. We're just so grateful to have you here with us, and so grateful for your long experience with Dr. Naram. If there's one characteristic or quality of Dr. Naram that you notice that you think everyone here could benefit from, one thing that you saw in him that we can all benefit from, what would you say that is?
You can benefit, but it's not always good to be in it all the time. He was a child. and that is good for a certain time, but not always. Because I have to teach him how to be a father, how to be with his wife, how to be days of vacation with both of them. Nobody taught him this. So I have to tell him to be more mature to be in this relationship. The way he took pulse is very unique. I learned to take pulse from my father, who learned from his father. The way Pankaj took pulse is very, very, very unique. Like he will say to you, take my pulse. He said, where are you? I can't find you. And he was always ready to learn something new. And one day I said, and we talk about you when you first met Pankaj, Clint. We talk about you because at the time you met him, you didn't have any agenda in your life. You were available. And I talk about legacy to him and translation and said, just let him travel with you. That was one. You were in Salt Lake City, I think, at that time. And then just the beauty of Pankaj, where he could be still living today. So this is something I regret that they have allowed him. And I'm like this too. My staff will tell me, Ma, it's 2:30 in the morning. I'm still going. And he was the same way. And I say to Vinay, I say to others, you're going to kill Pankaj. I wish he will still be here today. That's simple. So between all Baglamukhi, Shiva, Indra, Raja Rajeshwari, Amrapali, I mean, this is an adventure to be with Pankaj, a real adventure. And I did say to him to start initiating his son, Krishna, to follow his path. So this is a great call, Clint. Excellent. Where's my Steve? Where's Steve? Is Steve around? I just saw him earlier.
I want to say thank you so much. And you just mentioned Krishna, and surprise, here you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see real quick.
Hello. Om Jai
Namaskaram, namaskaram. Beautiful.
Namaskar.
Oh, it's so wonderful for me to
So
know.
wonderful to see you.
It's good to see both of you. Superb.
Oh dear Saima ji, I'm so happy to see you today. It was the best surprise of my entire day. It was like we were thinking of you today, and then suddenly we start the call, and then you are there. You are the first
Such
person
a
to see.
blessing, such a surprise. I'm so happy. And I'm so happy.
And naturally, I thought of you myself when I knew I have to be on the call. Because if you remember the last year and a half of Pankaj's life, you three of you could go on vacation here and there, you know. That was my joy. And how Krishna, I've known you very small, how Krishna, you could be his legacy. That's such a joy for me.
Yes.
And he did scold me that I didn't do Panchakarma, but what to do?
I'm just about to remind you that.
You have a home here, so you are
I
welcome.
shall come. I shall come.
Come home to Mumbai and make it so I will absolutely personally take care.
Ashirvad, Ashirvad. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Krishna. I love you, Krishna. Love you,
We love you
Sita.
so
We
much.
love you so much.
My Steve.
Yes, Saima.
Lovely. Great love to all of you, and continue Pankaj work, please. Continue. There is a lot more coming. I'm in contact with Pankaj regularly. Like recently, he told me, he came to me and he said, call someone called J. Abraham. So he's here, but he knows also where to go. He must not always come around the earth.
Yeah.
All the best. I love you so. I love you dearly.
Thank you.
Be well,
Thank
all of you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so handsome, so cute.
Thank you. I would love to meet you. We are excited when we can meet next time.
Yes.
Well, if you travel to the US, let me know, or wherever you travel, let me know.
Definitely.
Okay.
And you know what you were sharing about the scriptures and all of the times you and Papa were in different places together, different ashrams. It was so fascinating. And one of the things you said that touched my heart, how Papa and I and Mummy, we three have been going together for different holidays. I love how you're saying so many things. It's just it brings us, one of the last holidays was something related to what you said. It was in Nepal to get some of the last scriptures. One very big a mystical master was sharing, and that's I don't know how you say this, but it's just you say everything so you don't even know sometimes, but you say it. I don't know from where it comes, from a different source.
That's so cute. That's so cute. So lovely.
Wow.
So wonderful to see us all together here.
Wonderful surprise. My God.
Yes, Steve. Thank you, Clint, for organizing this call. Thank you so much.
People
Great
are asking
blessings
your
to
age.
all of you, and continue the path.
People are asking your age. They cannot believe you're 67 years young. They can't believe it.
Oh
Everyone
my
is
God.
amazement.
68 young. And I don't do facial. I don't do any of this, but that's my state.
Just yeah. So beautiful, so powerful. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. And thank you, Steve, for reaching out and making namaskar.
Oh, it was a real pleasure.
Smita, let me share something. So one day I went for Panchakarma, And of course, Pankaj and me every evening, we're going somewhere to eat. And of course, it was not good for my pulse. You remember that? You were so mad, Smita. And I didn't say a word because Pankaj take me to eat this, whatever I was eating. Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much.
So much. Looking forward to connecting
Love
again
you,
soon.
love you. My mom is here actually.
Oh,
Oh, let's
Yes.
all of us.
I'd love
One
to
moment.
see her.
One moment. My father.
Mataji, Mataji,
Namaste, namaste.
Mataji. Oh, आप कैसे हैं?
अच्छा, अच्छा.
ठीक, ठीक.
Fine.
Lovely,
આમનું
it's
નામ
so
સાઈમા
fantastic.
છે. બહુ મોટા સ્પિરિચ્યુઅલ ગુરુ છે.
અહીંયા આવ્યા હતા ને.
It's so wonderful to see you, Mataji. Wonderful. I will come just to see the three of you. I feel like I wish to come to Bombay soon.
It will be so wonderful.
We were just with Pankaj's younger brother and the family. Just came from there. We meet all the family all the time.
Here's Dr. Naram's sister, Varsha. Dr. Naram's sister, Varsha. Welcome, Varsha.
Everybody's here. Lovely. That's a family. Lovely.
Yeah.
Let's all continue. Let's continue. Let's continue to serve. There's nothing else besides that.
Yes.
Seva, seva, seva. Om Didi Saima, everybody. Om Didi Saima. I see many, many faces that I know here. Didi Saima.
Jai Sama.
Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much. Now I want to ask Krishna and Smita, how much time do you have? Do you have a chance we can listen to Stephen share his story and then we hear from you after? Or do you want to share first and then we hear from Stephen after? You tell me your preference.
I have to just leave for something very important, but Krishna will be there as much as you want.
Beautiful.
So,
thank you. Before you leave, share anything with us as we have this tribute to Dr. Naram and just thinking about these ancient secrets, which you both, Dr. Smita and Krishna, spent the most time and really embody so much of the powerful ancient secrets. It would just be great if you had even 1-2 minutes now to share some message of love or some insight that we can benefit from.
Yeah, I just want to share a very, very powerful story about faith and a total faith in the supreme power when you are doing a good work for humanity. So our teacher, the Babaji, always said that, and we had also one more teacher who taught us Bhagavad Gita. That is where actually me and Pankaj met in 1977. So as per the principle of Bhagavad Gita, you have to be surrendered to the Lord, to the supreme power, and have complete faith that everything will go always good and everything will be always happening for good purpose. So we had this kind of a blind faith, and this is the time of 1992 when we just started traveling to Europe and America and different parts of the world. So in 1992, me and Pankaj, we just went to US and we did a clinic, traveling in different places. And there was this one place in LA where there was a clinic coordinator who organized all the clinics. Like we have always people who would like to help others. They always gather a lot of people, and then in the process, this is such a powerful thing because they can help others, and also they can earn out of supporting this activity. So this coordinator from LA, I don't want to say the name actually, but something went wrong. Then he had some financial trouble, so he didn't send our money that he collected. So we came back to India. We just had a factory. We took a huge loan. As everybody knows, we started from zero, and not even house to stay. So it was very tough time at that time. So we had a huge loan. We came back and waiting for this money. So there was another coordinator in Albuquerque who sent money, but this money got stuck because at that time the transfer was not so powerful. It wasn't as smooth as it should be. Not technology was weak. So that got stuck for 6 months. And this man who was completely bankrupt or something, he couldn't send any money. So we had such a great faith. We were not disturbed at all, thinking this is everything happens for good. Everything happens for good. You will not believe me. You know what happened? Miracle. This faith, I have kept it for my whole life. No temporary defeat can shake us up because I have seen this proof that everything happens for good in your life. After 6 months, when the money from Albuquerque came, you will not believe me, they were double in terms of Indian rupees than what it could have come 6 months ago. Why? Because Indian government just at that time devalued Indian rupees and made it double. So we got half of the US dollars, but when it was converted in Indian rupees, it was double. Finally, we got the same amount that we were supposed to get. So we were so protected that the God delayed this Albuquerque money transfer on purpose so that we get what we are supposed to get. And that is what I tell everybody. Keep faith. If you have to do something good for humanity, or if you have good intentions for everything that you do in your life, trust me, everything happens for something better in a bigger picture. And that's what I have seen. That's my today's sharing and message to everybody. Faith is the biggest healer.
Oh, wow. So powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Talking about faith as a big healer, it not only helps yourself, but when you help yourself, it blesses all that you know. And so we have a real fun gift to have on the call today, Dr. Naram's sister, Varsha. Welcome, Varsha. Can you unmute yourself?
So I'm going to
And
say
also
goodbye.
we have Tanvi. Tanvi, can you turn on the video? Varsha, so good. Can you unmute yourself, Varsha, or I can call you on the phone here. Let's see. And I want to welcome Tanvi as well. Tanvi, so good to have you here. Dr. Naram's niece. Wow, amazing.
Hi.
Tanvi, can we hear your voice?
Yes, yes. Hello, hi.
Oh, good. Wow.
I'm saying goodbye to everybody.
Oh, super. Thank you, Dr. Smita. Thank you so much for all your help in all ways, your support in so many ways of helping this movement to continue the vision to live on. So powerful.
So much love. I will be listening to Tanvi and Varsha and then I will leave. But I'm so happy to be with all of you. So much love. So much love.
Oh, beautiful. Well, Varsha, there's a little button. You'll see a microphone and you press that button and it helps unmute you so we can hear your beautiful voice. Can you unmute yourself, Varsha? Let's see here. There we go. Yes. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Super.
Hello, everyone. Namaste. Namaste.
Hi.
Well, I wanted to start just by sharing this beautiful picture of the three of you, all with Dr. Naram.
Amazing.
Nice. Thank you so much.
2 years back.
What's one story each of you can share, a brief story each of you can share about Dr. Naram that would help us to feel like we're a part of your family as well? I mean, I already feel like I'm a part of your family, but everyone on this call that they can be a part of this global family and something that can benefit them. Tanvi was part of something called Shakti Parchala. Dr. Ram took lots of kids, lots of youth, his nieces and nephews and other kids, and he taught them the very powerful ancient secrets for how you can be a creator of anything in your life. And Tanvi was someone he was so proud of. Actually, Tanvi, can you share a brief story about Shakti Parchala?
Sure. Shakti Pathshala was first called Shakti Group, which was started when I was 5 years old. And that time I was in my first grade, and now I'm 20 years old. And it started very randomly. So one day we had gone for a vacation in Matheran, and Ada, that is Dr. Pankaj Naram, he called all the kids to his room, saying, I have something new and exciting that we can do. So all the kids, they were so curious. They all went running to his room, and Dr. Naram, he asked us, he told us, he gave us a word. So considering umbrella, and he told us, give me ideas how we can use umbrella in other ways. So someone told we can use umbrella as a parachute, or there were many ideas. I don't remember everything because it was 15 years back, but there were so many ideas, and you won't believe, but all 6 of the kids, we came up with around 90 ideas of how can we use an umbrella. So that was our first session that we remember. And then
can I share one piece of this? There was an adult in the room who said there's only 2 uses of an umbrella.
yeah.
For when it's raining or to keep the sun off, only 2. And he was surprised that these kids came up with 90 uses of umbrella. So Dr. Naram had these challenge activities to spark creativity. Saima talked about how he was like a child, so curious about everything. He says if you train your brain, it can be a popcorn machine of ideas. You know, you can think about this.
We always wanted it that ideas should pop in your mind like a popcorn machine.
Yeah.
Even though if it's not possible, everything is possible and you can do it.
Can I share one powerful story I saw happen with you?
Yeah, sure.
So Dr. Naram would send Krishna and Kavisha and Tanvi and these kids on the street to sell products for the orphanage in Nepal. And I remember at the beginning, the kids were so shy and so nervous. And I think even at the beginning, I don't know if this is right or not, but Tanvi was really—
Yeah, we were super shy.
We'd cry because I don't want to do this thing. And Dr. Naram would say, no, you can become—
Why do we have to do it?
Had to do this. Now, fast forward, Dr. Naram used the ancient secrets and taught these kids, how do you face fear? How do you face ego? You know, the same principles his master taught him. Fast forward, Dr. Naram invited me to one of these Shakti Parchala experiences just to witness. And I'm walking along and I see Tanvi, and I think Kavisha was with you, and they go to this table where there's this man sitting with the family. And she comes up so sweet and says, pardon me, sir, can I have a couple minutes of your precious time to share with you something that can change your life? He says, no, get away. Anyway, so then he turned his chair and faced his family again, and Tanvi stood still. She stayed there. And the man knew, he didn't hear her footsteps walk away. So he looked over, he's like, what do you want? Tanvi says, please, sir, kind sir, I just need 2 minutes of your precious time to share with you something that can change your life forever. He's like, no, I told you, go away. And he turned away even more firm. Tanvi stayed still. He stayed there. Finally, the man looked, he's like, what do you want? He's like, listen, sir, I'm not a poor person. I come from a wealthy family, but I'm trying to help those that need help. If you'll just give me 2 minutes. And he says, okay, 2 minutes. Anyway, I saw as Tanvi told him about the orphan home in Nepal, shared with him so powerfully, and he pulled out money and bought so many products. I was like, this is too powerful. And what's the phrase Dr. Naram used about no? What did he say?
No does not mean no.
Yeah, no does not mean no. She knew she was doing something good for this family. And so she became unstoppable. Saima talked about how Dr. Naram honors Shakti. That's the feminine creative power of the universe. And he really does. He says men are wise when they honor women. Otherwise, they're idiots. He said like this. And he had a big love for Tanvi. And he had a big love for his sister Varsha. And he was so proud of how when they were in that Shakti power, that divine creative power, they could do anything. And Varsha, can you share a story about Dr. Naram? I know also you have your own personal healing stories that are so amazing. Some story perhaps you can share?
Yes. Yes, Pankaj, first sentence, Pankaj always used to tell me, knowing is not doing, doing is doing. Only to know that things is not doing, you should do. Anything, whatever, anything you do, it will come out like anything, you know. And so with the children's, even I used to participate and do all the things. And we used to sell the products. I don't know how, means it was a miracle. Wherever these children went and sold that few things, it was a miracle. Everybody took it. Everybody. Really, he made these children's upliftment. And it was a great thing which he did. And when I went with him in Nepal with all those small childrens, really I loved it. Loved it. Even I taught that students so many things. And then we made them eat so many things like I can't explain. I went with my friends also. They also loved it. You know, still they are remembering. You have taken us to something other world, you know, like that.
Yeah, so powerful.
Yes.
Thank you both
so
much for coming and blessing us with your presence on this day that we're honoring as a tribute Dr. Naram, his legacy, his healing secrets. Now, Varsha, you also he helped you. Can you just share in brief, in like 1 or 2 minutes, like the healing story of how he helped you with the ancient secrets?
Healing.
Yeah, with your joints.
Joints, yes. Uh-huh. No, I didn't follow your question.
Oh, you know, when you had a challenge and he gave you certain herbs and certain home remedies and certain things to do, can you share that story?
Yes. It was a miracle for me. Oh, so many times I went in so many different conditions and I went to Pankaj and I said, see, these are things are happening. It was a miracle which he did for me. Even after my heart attack, he gave me few medicine and that's why I'm living today. It has given me a new birth by taking all the medicines from last 3 years. I was taking non-stop continuously. Really, my doctor had told me to do open heart surgery and still have not done anything. I'm on the medicine and I'm here today and I'm talking with you. It is a miracle for me.
So powerful. Thank you, Varsha, for sharing. You know, how powerful to learn the ancient secrets, which not only can help you, but help those you love the most.
I am with Pankaj.
Thank you so much, Varsha.
I was with Pankaj last 62 years. I know each and every moment, each and everything. Whatever he did to me, really, it was a miracle, miracle, and miracle.
So beautiful.
I'm experienced. Yes.
Thank you so much. Please.
Thank you so much for allowing me to sharing with you. Thank you.
Give our love to your entire family so much. Thank you so much. And Tanvi, do you have any final words that you want to share with us?
So I just joined the call. I don't know the entire purpose of this meeting, but it was really wonderful and I really got some positive energy after being on this call. The entire day was so rough, but now I actually feel good and so positive. And I want to share something. My mom has a surgery tomorrow. So can you all please pray that the surgery goes well?
Yeah, so we're definitely sending love to your mother. So Dr. Naram's brother, his wife is having a surgery today. So everyone on this call, if we could just take 30 seconds, we put our hands together like this and we send lots of love to Tanvi's mom, to Dr. Naram's sister-in-law. Sending you so much love that this is such a successful healing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so much. Thank you, Tanvi, for coming on. So beautiful. So fun to see you. I want to go.
Thank you so much, Clint.
I want to go next to Stephen. You know
Perfect
him.
timing.
Yeah. He's right now taking some time to talk with us. He is one of the house guides of the 100-day program over the Danvantari house. He told us the very first time that he met Dr. Naram, what happened. Dr. Naram took his pulse and said, "Oh, you should work for me. Go over there, sit." And they just started sending patients to him right away. But there's another part of the story no one has heard yet. And Stephen, can you share that part of the story so it kind of connects today?
So I was in New York City working with Dr. Naram, and he showed me this card and he said, "Who is this woman, Marianne Williamson?" And I explained to him who Marianne Williamson was. And I said, "Who is this woman though? Chalanda Saima. I've never heard of her." He goes, "You know how Dr. Pankaj, you never heard of Saima? You have to meet her tomorrow night." And I'm like, "Pankaj, I'm driving back to Syracuse to see patients." He goes, you will come back after that." So I worked with him Thursday, drove to Syracuse 5 hours away, saw patients all day, drove 5 hours all the way back to New York City to meet Saima. She walked in, it was Pankaj and I and Dr. Giovanni, and there was a picture of Sai Baba, my guru. We had this beautiful meeting there. And then I got back in the car and drove 5 hours again back to see patients the next day. But that meeting between Pankaj and Saima changed my life. Pankaj was going to go visit Saima in Colorado. I said I would go. He said, "Can you come along?" And I said, "I would love to come along." He ended up not being able to go. I went and became one of the master teachers with Saima and just really created this beautiful journey. And then we were all together in Varanasi for Shivaratri. And Pankaj took me around Varanasi, places where no one gets to go. We traveled by boat because there were so many people in Varanasi. And it has been just a beautiful journey with so many masters in my life. And they really showed me how to serve people. And so it's just a real pleasure to have gotten this call together. 2 texts. I texted Clint, I texted Saima. Saima said, "I'll be on next Sunday." And it all happened. And I thank you all for being here to absorb and to share this love.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that the whole connection happened. I actually heard about Saima so many times because Dr. Ram would talk about her in reference to, so many years of his life were spent making formulas. Actually, he must have created, I don't know, Steve, 200, 300 herbal formulas. Like he would study the ancient manuscripts. He would study the words of his master. He'd look at the problems that exist on the planet today, and he put together the most amazing formulas. Both him and Dr. actually became really masters of this. And the last few years of his life, he thought women really need to know what was manuscripts. Spent years and years of it. In fact, after his passing, barely in a warehouse for 11 months, almost. Just barely 2 weeks ago, they got unlocked and they're available. I saw lots of people asking, are they through Ayushakti? It's actually through Ancient Secrets Foundation right now that you can get them. And there's a link that I just posted because a lot of people were asking. But I want to say that that right after Dr. Ram's passing, when Saima tried to contact me just to talk with me, my phone died and I didn't have a phone for 8 days. And so today is kind of a completion of connection of a whole, I don't know how to say it, but a beautiful, it feels like what's happening right now through the 100-day course and also through the book and through all of Dr. Naram's students and friends and family coming together is we're creating such a powerful force of love on this planet and an opportunity to be of greater service by importantly focusing on how we help ourselves and then how we help others. Stephen, anything you want to share along those lines?
Yeah, it is a real mixture of ancient secrets and real science. Dr. Smita has a degree in the pharmacology of Ayurvedic herbs. So it was brought together, the ancient wisdom and the science of life brought together, which is Ayurveda, the ancient wisdom and the science of life. So these herbs are worked to work not only in ancient times, but also in modern times, because our afflictions have not changed. They just look different. In the ancient times, we fell out of coconut trees, and now we sit in front of the computer too long. And things have to evolve that way, but the ancient knowledge of the plants are the same.
Beautiful. I'm so glad you shared that. Right in a moment, actually, we're going to have someone from Germany who also studied with Dr. Ram for so long speak. But right before that, I want to see if we can have, as a part of the 100-day course, we have people that are 70, 80 plus participating. And then our youngest member is 12 years old. And I just want you to meet him, Garrett. And I just want to say, welcome, Garrett.
Hi. Oh, thank you, Dr. Clint, for letting me speak. And thank you for giving me the scholarship to be able to be here. And thank you so much for just letting me join this class. It's awesome. Sorry, last week I wasn't able to do one of the assignments. I did the 2 videos and then I wasn't able to do the other one and I totally just forgot about it. But so I'm already about to finish the video for the one that you're doing for this week. And
I want to say this, Garrett. You didn't actually get a scholarship. You earned it. I was in McAllen, Texas for my postgrad. Garrett was in the lobby, actually telling people, "You need this book. You need this book. You need this book."
By myself.
Oh, there's just some background noise. You had a powerful experience, Garrett. How many books did you sell, and how much money did you raise for the orphanage in Nepal?
I sold 40 books and I raised $820.
Yeah. So, you heard Tanvi speak about Shakti Parchala, teaching kids how to be creators of experience, how to make things happen. Anything can happen with the economy, with the government, with your family, and you know how to be a creator on this planet. Instead of just accepting the way things are, you can make them better. And in Garrett, I saw this power. And so Garrett is one of the people participating in this very, very powerful experience of a 100-day journey going deeper in the ancient secrets. And thank you, Garrett, so much for joining the course. Yeah, beautiful. Well, continue to inspire us. All right, I want to go next to Suyogi. Suyogi is a powerful student of Dr. Naram and has such an amazing story. And Suyogi, let's see if we're able to unmute you here. Okay, asked to unmute, and I'm going to add a spotlight. Welcome, Suyogi. There we go.
Oh,
Suyogi.
namaste, everyone. I'm so happy that I could make it. And, I just saw the last part of Saima, and I would like to add something because Dr. Naram, when I became a student many, many years ago, at that time, there were not so, there were more men than women, let me put it like this. And he talked also a lot with me about the Amrapali formula and how important it is for women, because we are the Shakti, the power, the female creative power, and that it is so important that women are emotionally, mentally, physically and spiritually always in their true sense of power, in her own balance. And for this, hormones are extremely important. And right now, we women, we have Dr. Naram used to say, Pankaj Pai used to say, the home ministers of families, because women have so many different tasks to do and so many different ways we have different identities. And that's why for every woman, it is so important to balance her being and be more from her heart and from her soul. And for this, I think this is amazing that all these women are coming now together, sharing all this beautiful secrets. And I would really encourage everyone to try it out. I personally love Amrapali, and I think it's for every woman, it's a must. And Dr. Naram would be so happy if all the women become powerful humans and beings, because he always used to say a man without a woman is an idiot. And if he does not really understand how important it is and grasp the Shakti of a woman, then in our lineage, they are idiots.
He said, even myself, he says, even I am, if I forget to respect women.
Yes.
So that was really powerful. I just want to add because I realized I was talking about this product, but it's not available throughout the whole world. But actually in the book on page 292 is the home remedy version. You can actually mix the ingredients at home. You make these 6 packets a day, and then you 60 packets, you make 4 packets, you soak them and you take it. You can do it. You know, it doesn't actually, I just want to share in brief. This is a woman from Miami area, Alessandria. She's very powerful, but most of her life she had such bad periods, like painful periods that will last 7, 8 days, lots of bleeding, lots of pain. Now, her and her husband were partners together. Becker and Alessandra were partners together, but third of the month, she's in pain and he can't stand that. She actually did the remedy, this Amrapali secret remedy, within 28 days was the first time in her life she had a pain-free period and was only 3 days. 3 days and pain-free. Actually, I think it was Mike told me, he says, do you know what you call a man who bleeds 7 or 8 days in a row? You call them dead. Okay. So how she endured this for her whole life, the last year, 2 years, a regular period and pain-free period. And Dr. Naram got so happy about this experience. He says, Dr. Clint, you need to include this in the book to make sure that people know this is possible. Now, some people have trouble mixing it all. And so that's why he spends so much time and effort to make it so it's also easily accessible for people. You just drink a teaspoon in the morning, a teaspoon at night, you take the nutrition, and it's a powerful way to balance your hormones. Now, Suyogi, you have so many stories. And I just think in this context, in this space, what's one story you could share that would really touch our hearts about a characteristic that you noticed in Dr. Naram that all of us can benefit from? What's one of those ancient secrets?
One of these ancient secrets, I think, for everyone who is now starting the journey, which I really admired about him. Look, Saima was saying he was a child, but he was a child in a true sense. Because what does a child mean? It means to be always open-hearted, to be innocent, to be natural, and to be a constant learner. And whatever he learned, he immediately started to share with everyone. And he immediately encouraged everyone around him, go deeper, learn and grow and find out how it works on people. And please let me know how. And this is such a beautiful opportunity. So even if you just take, for example, now this in Clint's the hormone recipe, and if you first try it out on yourself, experience how it feels, of course, please. Not the man, and then feel it and share it with other women, share it with your friends, share it with your mother, because in every age, it's not in every age this is important. When young girls come in period until we are leaving this earth, we always have to balance ourselves and our female Shakti. And this I learned from him. He was so disciplined and he was still so playful. And this combination of discipline and playfulness is something we all should adopt more in our life and apply more in our life. And really, it was what I learned from him was that failing forward. Many times I felt I cannot do it. And then I always remembered his words, just get up, smile, and continue to experience it in a different way. Just take another road. And this is what was one principle I learned from him.
Wow, thank you so much. You know, you're sharing about applying it and then seeing the results. And Yolanda actually just posted in the chat. Yolanda is a multiple-time bodybuilding champion. So talk about Shakti power, you know. And she came to Dr. Naram. And Yolanda, can you share your experience with the Amrapali secret and with meeting Dr. Naram?
Yes. When I met Dr. Naram, I was having a cycle that would last 10 days, 14 days, and I was very anemic. And he put me on the 60 pack 4 times a day. And I noticed when I started doing the 60 pack, at first I was a little bit off. I probably only did it twice a day. And then I went to the 4 times a day. and I noticed that my moon cycle started getting shorter, and I started feeling better. And I still do it to this day, and I have so much energy, and I feel great, and it really changed my life. Seriously, I mean, I don't go without it.
Oh, that's so powerful. You know, one thing about ancient secrets is cost should never be an obstacle. You know, so if you want to go the easy route and the less expensive route, you just order the ingredients. You mix a lot of them together and you just make 4 packs a day. This is Amrapali's secret recipe. Now, Dr. Ram wanted to make it easy. So this one, because there's a limited amount of bottles, it's a little bit more pricey, but it's also an option. But you don't have to be limited. You use whatever instruments are available to you. Suyogi, I just want you to add anything as you're hearing Yolanda's story. Anything you want to share?
Yeah, I want to share. Just today, I had a phone call with a patient, with a young woman in India. And like what you said, Dr. Naram he saw a limit. Like some people, they maybe cannot afford the herbs. And she was she's from a village, very poor girl. But she had all her life, she had pain with periods, and all her life she was not feeling well. And I said, okay, so you get these ingredients from the Amrapali recipe, and you try it out. And of course, like she shared now, in the beginning it was a little bit off, but then I encouraged her to continue. And today she said she feels so good, and her period came after such a long time again. So see, the ancient secrets, home remedies are extremely powerful. You just have to not give it up and continue to apply them over and over again.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Dr. Ram say there's always a price to pay. And the price you may pay in money, or you may pay in discipline. You may change your habits, change your diet, start taking a home remedy. One powerful story is actually after Alessandria had this great result, Dexter says, I want to start taking Amrapali's secret remedy. And so he started taking this remedy. He actually lost his cravings for junk food and unhealthy food. I mean, they weren't eating that unhealthy anyway. He was feeling good. He's losing weight. But then Dr. Ram said, no, actually, there's something called Maharaja secret. Maharaja means king, the secret of the kings. And also that remedy is inside of this book too. So for the men, you don't feel left out, you know. It's very powerful. You can be young at any age. Yolanda, anything else you want to share about your story?
Well, you know what? I would encourage every woman to take it, regardless if you're having issues with your cycle or not. It gives you lots of energy, and it just helps to ground me. That's what I would like to say.
I just got a phone call from someone who is a Broadway star, originally from Ireland, and she wanted so much to be on this call. There's a YouTube video of her. If you just search Dr. Naram Amrapali's secret, you'll see this beautiful story of what happened to her and how she started to feel younger and younger. And it's really, really impactful. Thank you, Suyogi. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you for being great representations of Shakti power on this planet. It really inspired us. So beautiful. I want to go next actually to someone who was hand in hand with Dr. Naram for more than 20 some years as his right hand, as his external hard drive, memory bank, and someone that is one of the most amazing, lovely souls that I've ever met, Vinay Soni. Vinay, namaskar.
Namaste and Jai Swaminarayan to everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Clint, for bringing me. Hello, sis. How are you? My sister Suyogi is there. Yeah, thank you very much. And in fact, I really want to thank you to Dr. Smita Naram, first of all, to my spiritual master, to give me this opportunity, because after Dr. Naram left from, he's not left, actually, it says that Dr. Naram left, but I really feel that he is always with me all the time to give me the encouragement and everything. Dr. Naram always tells to me one thing that because I have to do day and night work with him. So there are possibility that sometimes I get stuck at some point. So Dr. says one thing, powerful thing about me and my work, that don't stuck with your problems and don't bring the problems to me. You have to work out the possibility. So that really give an impact in my life, and it really helped me that everywhere, wherever I go, still in this lockdown situation also, it really helped me a lot that never stuck with your problems. You have to work out the possibilities, and it really helped me and really worked out for me. Apart from my spiritual master, I'm really thankful to Dr. Smita Naramji and Krishna, who really helped me a lot during these things. Of course, my sis, Suyogi, and of course, Dr. Clint. He was always uh, try to contact me, and he says, "Okay, I want you to be there with me. I want you to be there with me." But when I heard from him about this 100 days course, and then I spoke to Dr. Krishna, and he said, "Yes, of course." And he said, "Yes, you can do, because if Papa is there, you could have done these things." And I said, "Yes." And then when I heard from Dr. Clint about all these things, so that it really clicked me, and it said that, yeah, this is the right platform where I can find myself, which for the last so many years, because at one time, Dr. Nam left his body, and then this lockdown started. So I was stuck in my home and nothing to do. I was just able to speak to the people on the phone calls only. But the really ancient secrets insights of Dr. really helped me. And one of his insight was, and this helped me a lot, that if it is on the page, it will be on the stage. Dr. always likes to say, like Saimaji said, Dr. writes to note down each and every small points, and it really helped me. That so I started writing about the possibility how I can do the work. So yeah, thank you very much again to Dr. Clint to these things. And really I want to take three names who really helped me apart from the Dr. Clint, Krishna and Dr. Smita Naramji. One is of course my sis Siyogi ji, who really motivated me to join this course. Second is Dr. Juani. He is very much my buddy since, because I'm working with a doctor for the last 23 years. I'm using this word, I'm working with Dr. because I know that he is with me. That's why I'm using these words. I'm working with the Dr. for the last 23 years. And of course, one of the best friend, I can say she's she really helped me during all this situation. Her name is Ami Patel. Suyogi Ben knows her very much, and she also motivated very much. Dr. Clint, you also know her very well. So yeah, this is the
You know,
thing. And
Vinay, I'm that you're gonna. I just want to say I'm so grateful that you're participating in this whole experience. When I found out, I almost broke into tears. I was so grateful and so thankful. Suyogi called you, Giovanni called you, because it makes such a difference having you here. Now, I didn't prepare you in advance, but there's a story that I love that you shared with me about one time when you made a mistake. And in fact, a lot of money, it cost a lot of money. And then Dr. Naram's response in that particular scenario, what he said to you. You know, could you just share that story? Because we all make mistakes. And I think this story, you know, it helped me as I was learning. And could you just share in brief that story?
yeah, it was like this. Dr. was at that time at my sister's place, Suyogi Ben's place in Berlin, and he was having the clinic over there. We are supposed to send some amount to Dr. Naram's master in the Nepal. And thing is happened that the person who's taking over there, he done he has communicated in such a way, and he got a situation at the customs, and then he has to be under the interrogation of the custom officers and everything. So I got a call and I have to rush to the airport because he was under the interrogation. So I went there, I met the officer. I tried to, because Dr. always says that you have to communicate. Don't give up, just communicate with your best possibilities. So I prayed to my spiritual master. You can see on my right extreme corner, his picture is there on the wall. My spiritual master, Hari Prasad Swamiji. So I prayed to him and I started communicating with that custom officer, and he was not ready to give up the things. Then he finally told me that, okay, I can do one thing. I can allow you to go and to that person. Let me speak to Dr. Naram. So for the first time in my life, I have done these things that I have wake up Dr. Naram before his time, because one of my job was to wake him up wherever around the world he is, whatever the time is. So I'm like an alarm clock for him also. One of my job was like an alarm clock for him. So I wake him up and I shared these things. So initially he just said to me two, three things. Then he told me, uh, I said, sir, it's my mistake. I have done these things, but now at present I need your help to get our things out, to come out from these things. And after that, we have to go to the one of the biggest business tycoon of the India, I should say. Some might be heard about his name. He is owner of the Excel Group. So he is having the birthday. So I have to go after completing these things right from there to this. And I was totally blank because I was not aware of this, what to do, because this is quite a million of rupees, I could say. So then I plead to Dr. MK, please help me out. So he said, give me some time. So he called Dr. Clint, he called Dr. Marianji, he spoke to Suyogi Ben and everyone. So suddenly I just started calling, getting the calls from the everyone. You cannot to worry about it, we are with you. The best part of the Dr. Ram is that he is there to support you, but at the same time, he wants to fill you from inside that yes, you are protected and you are supported from everyone. He could have told me on the phone that I'm with you, but he said, okay, it's time for you to come out of your fear. It's nothing, it's not like an end of your life. It's just one thing has happened. So I said, fine. So we communicated this custom officer again, like these things. Somehow I came out of these things. We went to that business tycoon.
I want to say that
And
oh, go ahead, keep going, Vinay. But I just want to say it's so powerful because we all make mistakes. And in this case, Vinay was thinking he'd have to leave his job, that for sure Dr. Ram would fire him, that for sure Dr. Ram would find this unacceptable, this problem that came. And Vinay was so nervous. And in that moment, those are the priceless moments in which love can be put into a person, in which they can become more powerful than they realize they could become. And Dr. Ram did that in that moment.
yeah, so in the evening, I was just sitting in my room and I was just thinking that because the way I had a communication with Dr. Ram and everything said, as rightly said Dr. Clint, that there is a possibility that I may lose the job, and I was thinking about how should I survive and these things, because my father was not keeping well, my mother is at home, but these things. So many thoughts coming in my mind, and finally I broke down and I had a tears in my eyes, and I could not control myself. So after that, I texted to Dr. Naram and I apologized to him on the phone message that I'm really sorry and please forgive me. And if you give me one chance, I really want to come out of and learn the things. And then he said a beautiful things. Okay, don't worry about it. You are my child, and child has a right to do the mistakes. And the best part of you is that, and this is what I learned from my, because I always used to say, whatever I am today on this planet is because about my two master. One is my spiritual master, and second is Dr. Naram. So he told me that, Kike, one best part of you is that you surrendered and you said the things what exactly it was. And it's nothing that you have done wrong, but it was a situation and things. So don't worry about it. But at the same time, you have to learn from this mistake that how you can come out of these things. And as Dr. Clint said rightly that, and Suyogi Ben also said that, yeah, we have to be very firm and very clear. And I should add, I'm so this things fortunate because my spiritual master and my master, Dr. Naram, and all my loved ones are always there to protect me, including Dr. Clint, Suyogi Ben, Dr. Joani, and now my whole family who are there in front of me. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Dr. Clint, for giving me this opportunity. I'm really thankful to my spiritual master, Dr. Naram, Dr. Smita Naramji, Krishna, Suyogi Ben, Juani, and Ami. Thank you so much for giving me this. Thank you, Jai Swaminarayan.
So grateful for you, Vinay. So many powerful things in that example. You know, as a
Yeah.
child, you're my child. As a child, you can make mistakes. Just be honest. Tell me exactly what happened, and let's learn from it. Man, that's so powerful. So speaking of Dr. Ram's children, I feel like I'm one. Giovanni feels like he's one. He actually helped us all feel like we're part of his family. So right now, I hope everyone on this call feels like you're part of the family of Dr. Ram, part of the family of this ancient secrets. And in conclusion, we're going to actually have Krishna share any thoughts and any wisdom and any love from his heart as we conclude this call to Dr. Naram.
Oh dear Clint and everyone, I love you all so much. Today's call was one of the highlights of my entire month. Just seeing everyone reply with so much love, so much awareness, so much involvement, and then with so much deep desire to change their lives and change the world. I'm sure Papa must be so happy. He must be smiling till his ears and being like he never danced, but I'm sure now out of excitement he would be jumping a little bit wherever he is right now. Now, when Vinay Bhai was sharing this, it I remembered something profound which happened a few years back, and that's my most fondest memory. Even some of them, it's so close with Papa as well. In fact, you know what? Before I share this with you, which I believe everyone will find extreme value from it, because it changed my life. Just to show you, Papa used to do mantras every day. He said that his master's master, the ultimate master, Lord Jivaka, everyone, they said that there's something called as a mindset, and then there's something called as a soul set. And how do you build your soul set? You do mantras. You do something in which you have faith, with devotion, with seva. You can build your soul set. And then your mindset may be whatever. The soul set starts sprouting from inside and changes your life. Now, what did Papa do to build the inner world? And then he said that the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. So, what did he do to build that inner world? Believe it or not, but in our home where we live, this very room is the room where Papa came every morning after waking up to build his inner world. This is where he was. So, this is the first time I'm going to share it with you, and you can see this, you can feel it. In the last 20 years, Papa has come here every day whenever he was in India. And I thought just this would be the right thing to share, because we are embarking on a journey that can change your lives and change the world. So this is the room. This is where Papa came every day. And this his master gave from Tibet. Now there are different rituals, different secrets that Papa did. And the message I would like to share to all of you from my heart is that around 2 years back, we were in Nepal and we came to meet a mystical master. His name was Pagla Nath Baba. And then his brother, Tyagi Nath Baba. Tyagi means the one who sacrifices, he just gives away. So he used to always ask Papa, Dr. Naram, I need 1 lakh rupees. That is almost $1,500. I need this. Please get this. Please get this. And Papa never questioned. He said, if he says and my master has said, then Devi will provide. Shakti will provide. I will just give. So then he would go and give. And like that, it happened many times. People got annoyed. Dr. Naram, what are you doing? How are you? Why you are doing like this? So that's when I learned something very big. The thing that probably changed my life more than ever. That's when I met this man who was a student of this master, 125-year-old Agora, mind over matter. And I met this student. He says that I was 6 years old when I was with Baba. I didn't go to school, but I went to him where in the place where they burn dead bodies, and I meditated with him at the age of 6. I said, really? When I was 6, Papa also took me one place to meditate where they were burning bodies. And he says, why you are so happy about it? I said, because I didn't understand at that time. I just wanted to be with Papa. So I did not understand where I am. Now he, by the age of 18, started discovering something. He heard a noise behind a bush at the age of 18 while the meditation was going on at 2 a.m. in the morning. Everything is dark. Some bodies are still burning. Some coal is lit up. And this master is sitting straight and meditating for hours, doing mantras, speaking loud chants. And next day he asks him, what is this? What did you do? There was some noise behind the bush. Was it some ghost? And that man laughs. Tyaginath Baba laughs like anything. A ghost? No, no ghost can touch me. They cannot even come close to me. So he says, what is it? Then Tyaginath Baba said that there's a skull which I am meditating on, and now it starts to walk. It starts to move from one place to another and then goes back. I'm thinking it here that how is this even possible? Papa always said that there's mind over matter. Krishna, you learn, you discover. This is your inner work. This is your inner work. Don't get limited by logic. Just don't get limited ever in your life. Just learn, keep exploring, and go inside. So I said, okay, let me just learn. I don't want to have a closed mind. Laws of physics in school, they have been taught. This is impossible. I'll keep an open mind. So he said that I did not believe. And I said to my guru that teach me, show me, what is this? So next day, he goes in that same place and says, Tyaginath Baba says, look, watch carefully. 1 hour happens, 2 hours happen, 3 hours happen. It's getting quieter, darker. Some dead bodies are waiting to be burned. Some are already there. Some are, all this coal is there. It's difficult to sleep. It's smelling like anything. And suddenly this skull starts moving. He hears the same noise. He rushes over there. He sees it hopping from one place to another. And he's blown out of his mind. I am blown out of my mind because next day I experienced something similar. And that's the same day I was initiated in that special ritual. Now, what was the message in this whole story? The message was that Papa wanted to share that Krishna, being a healer, is not just, you don't see just pulse. Pulse is a way. Everything is a way. You have to go in your inner world and then you will discover. He could move skulls with his power of meditation. He could move them from here to there. In the next 100 days, you don't know what miracles you can discover inside yourself. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you can discover something deeper. Who knows? But this could be the doorway to changing your life and then changing lives of millions around you. I really love you all. And I believe you can make a big difference. We all together can change the world. I love you all and I'm with you all.
Ah, so beautiful. Thank you, Krishna, so much. Wow. I'm just reading the chat. Luke says, wow, thank you for sharing, Krishna. You help us open our minds and hearts. No limitations. Kathy says, thank you for this outstanding call. Ronnie says, I love watching and hearing you, Krishna. It's like watching your father, totally magic and loving. And so much love. Kira says, yes, Krishna, thank you. You're receiving so much love. Janet says, thank you, Krishna. Outer depends on inner. Our journey is blessed. I just want to say, I hope everyone on this call felt like you're a part of the family of Dr. Naram, and that the principles he taught are so applicable, it can change your life, and together we can change the world. At the beginning of the call, I talked about the translators. There's some translators I didn't get a chance to mention even, like Hasima. Hasima's on this call. Hasima, do you want to just say your name and which language you're translating into? Let's see if you can do it. As we're at, oh, there we go.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Clint, for everything. Beautiful, beautiful call. I've been through a very bad time this last weeks. I lost a brother. So been trying to get over that. My name is Hasima again, and I'm translating the book to Arabic. I'm almost done to the end now, and thank you all.
Hasima, let's send Hasima some love. You know, as a global family, she's been working to translate the book into Arabic. Let's put our hands together and just send Hasima and your mother and family so much love. We love you and we're with you.
Thank you.
You know,
thank you all.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, who in their life feels like they've been through some pretty big transitions in the last month? Just raise your hand. Some pretty big transitions we're going through. I could scroll through the pages and you'd see everyone's hands. And who feels like they got some inspiration from this call? Some insight or some wisdom that you can carry with you that applies to those things. Beautiful. So in the chat right now, I just want you to put your takeaway. What's your takeaway as a result of this beautiful tribute to Dr. Naram? What's something that you'll carry with you that you can apply in your life? What ancient healing secret, what wisdom, what insight? You can just put that in the chat. I just wanted to share this. I was going to share it at the beginning of the call. Speaking of the translations, look at this. This is the book covers in all these different languages. Dr. Naram's mission that these ancient secrets go touch every heart and every home on earth is happening. And it's happening just because it works, you know, and it's natural. And it affects us on such a deep and profound level. Just for those who are in the 100-day course, you heard Suyogi speak. If you're in Jivaka House has the house meeting tomorrow, Monday. Sarita and Deepika and Dr. Mehta, they have Amrapali House. We talked a lot about Amrapali on this call today. Amrapali House is meeting on Friday. And then right after this call, we'll actually, oh, it's 11:11 on my, amazing, 11:11 right now on my clock. Right after this call, we'll hang up this one and you can get back on the same link. If you want a technology orientation call, if you have any more questions about how to access the 100-day course website, how to do anything like that, Jonathan will be on for that call. I'd say get up, take a stretch break, get back on, and we'll be back on the technology call in a moment. I just want to end with this thought. To Hasima, to Vinay, to myself, to everyone, you know, Dr. Naram, he shared such a powerful principle. He says, first of all, he says these ancient secrets, they go beyond religion. They go beyond culture. They go beyond, you know, race or nationality. On this call, we had so many people come and speak from so many different religious backgrounds. But the common language in it all is the first quote in the beginning of the book. He says, I didn't come to teach you. I came to love you, and love will teach you. And I just find that everyone who spoke on this call, and as I'm looking at your faces, I feel that that is ultimately the vibration and the resonance that brought you here in this moment now. So in light of the tradition at the end of these calls, I think, Mike, do we have to make it so they can unmute themselves? I just want you to unmute yourself.
Everyone can, yep.
Okay, unmute yourself and just say, I love you and I'm with you.
I love you.
I love you and I'm with you.
And I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you.
And I'm with
You
you.
and I'm with you.
I'm with you.
And I'm with you. And I'm with you. And I'm with you. Love you You all. and I'm with you.
Love
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love you all.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you all.
Thank you.
With you.
Thank you.
With you. I love
I
you
love you
all.
and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with
Love
you.
us all. Truly love you and I love you.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Love you and I'm with you. You too. Namaste. Namaste.
I love you all and I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
I love
you and I'm with you. You too. Good to see you.
You're so beautiful people. I love you and I'm with you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I'm with you.
Love you and I'm with you.
Love you.
Love you.
With you.
I love you and I'm with you.
I love
I
you
love
and I'm
you
with
and
you.
I'm with you.
Enjoy.
I love you and I'm with you.
Thank you, Seema. I love you and I'm with you. Wow, powerful. That's really amazing. That's a lot to take in and a really beautiful thing to see all your faces and to feel that and to know, know that you're loved. I'm looking forward to this week coming up. Don't forget to do your challenge activity. It'll help you face certain fear and ego. And we'll talk about that in the next Saturday call. I love you. I'm with you. Namaskar.